Okay, well, here we have the Bark River Vehement Knives collaboration and the MACV SOG Bowie. I've had a lot of videos out that I've made involving this knife because it is one of my favorite knives, actually, maybe the most favorite knife of mine. It's been everywhere with me in numerous states throughout the U.S., all sorts of different areas, deep in the woods, all over. And it's been on my hip. It has been an excellent companion. And there's something about this type of knife here that gives me a type of, romance, if you will. I'm sure others out there who are into knives know exactly what I'm talking about. The romance of the woods and the romance of your kit, if you will. Mine happens to be, stacked leather handles and brass, clip points, leather sheaths with sharpening stone pouches. Love it. That type of thing really gets me going. Now, a few things I'd like to discuss in regards to this knife is I have made a modification to it. The back of this here, I did make this into a 90-degree spine, just in this scallop right here. And it strikes a ferrocerium rod very, very well. That is really the only modification that I have made. I recently talked to Bark River Knives because I'm thinking of sending this knife back in. And there are two reasons for that. The first reason is that this edge here, and I could probably do it myself, but they're professionals there with the right equipment, and it might come out better with them. I don't know. I certainly would hope that it would. But this behind the cutting edge here is about a 24-degree angle. I was told. Okay, of course this is convex ground here. It's very thick. Okay, in my opinion, I would say that it is too thick because any type of harder media to cut, it does not cut very well. Any types of large slabs of meat does not really cut quite well doing that either. It's not the worst in the world, but I'll tell you right now, it does not hold a candle to a Buck 119. Buck 119 outperforms this knife with ease on everything. Okay. Obviously, this knife isn't really a knife to baton with, given this double scallop in this distal taper here, going from a 1/4 inch stock all the way down to I don't know what that is, but so it's not really for batoning, as I've stated in numerous videos before. I don't really sit there and baton my knives a ton. Maybe sometimes for some small campcraft things, or maybe just a couple pieces of kindling, 1.5 or 2 inch round of wood or something like that, and maybe for like some stop cuts for tent pegs or certain notches like that. The knife is very sharp. Don't get me wrong, it'll wipe hair right off of my arm. But if I were to take it and wanted to cut the top off a head of garlic, it would look like I'm trying to use a 2x4 to do it, because it does not work good. So I was thinking of sending it back to have the angle dropped, which was what I was told would be around a 21-degree angle. I'm not quite sure how that would work up here where we don't have as much of this bevel here, if you will, how that would work, but they seemed confident with it. The other reason why I'm sending it back is this right here. You see this? We have space in between these washers. Here, and even some down there too. There's another space right there. I, of course, being a stacked leather aficionado, if you will, I have looked up extensively how other people are treating their stacked leather handles. And I've seen everything from submerge it in water to swell it. That'll close this back up. Put Obanoffs on it, put all this different stuff on it. Well, I will tell you that I have used Obanoffs on this and let it sit overnight, saturated it real good, and there is no difference. I've actually done that twice in the last several months because this has been an issue now for a decent amount of time. I have also tried to use my pommel key and get in there and crank this nut back, on further to try to tighten this, but that will not budge at all. I've actually bent the pommel key, and I had this puppy locked in a vise and everything. So that's not working. What has happened, I believe, as a result of these leather washers having this gap here, is on occasion, this guard will shift ever so slightly. Of course, it's enough for me to know because I handle the knife all the time, and it begins to overlap this red spacer. So, any opinions are obviously welcome. That's why I started my channel in the first place, was to tell you basically what I know and what my opinions are, and to hear what everybody else's opinions could be. Let me know what you think. How is Bark River's, shop up there? Do they do a good job? Have you gotten knives back where, you didn't like the grind after you had them regrind it? They had told me that if they have to remove this handle, I am getting a completely new handle to this knife. New stacked leather, I should say. Probably the original brass. I'm not too keen on that, only because look at that beautiful patina on that leather handle. You can see pictures of them online, or you can see past videos that I have of this knife where, this is like a very light colored leather. I mean, it was brand new. And now it's got this deep, rich, dark brown, oily type of feel to it. Of course, it feels great in hand, having that softness in a sense in that oiled up handle. But I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I still want to roll with the knife. I'd like to get it sent back, but I do not want the knife messed up anyway. And I have heard some stories of people having something reground and the blade shape coming back different. And seeing as they don't make these anymore, currently at least, I don't want to be out of a knife or have something not look right. As of right now, the knife looks beautiful. It looks how it should. I don't want to mess it up. Because of its slightly poor cutting performance, which I've done anyways, I pretty much mostly use my large Stockman knife for most of my cutting tasks. Knife is very handy, though, obviously, and especially with the beautiful leather sheath that is provided for it. Well, thank you very much for watching, and any thoughts and opinions are greatly welcomed. Take care.